I'm Leah Lawrence.
And I'm her husband, Mitch Lawrence.
And you are listening to the Southern Sampler, where our friends tell us Southern stories of the macabre, creepy, and strange.
And we all drink.
Woo!
Woo!
So what are we drinking tonight, Mitch?
Everybody's just having a little bit of everything.
A little bit of something, something.
Yeah. I'm just having some Bowman Brothers.
And I am having something that we actually haven't featured on the podcast yet. But I'm drinking Sugarland Sean. It's the Butterscotch Gold Moonshine, and it's absolutely delicious.
Mm-hmm. It's very good. Leah, why don't you tell them who's here?
We have the man of honor from our wedding, Kyle Ducina. Say hi, Kyle.
Oh my god, hi.
Hey.
Well, that's an okay intro.
So here's the thing. Kyle's drinking wine because that's what Kyle drinks. But he does not imbibe in liquor because it makes him vomit. I've seen him do it. Love you, Kyle.
Gross.
So he will not be taking any shots today. I'm going to be taking his shots, and Mitchell's going to be on his own for the shot in the dark this time.
I'm fine with that. I'm really good at them. So it's fine.
All right, so is there anything that our audience needs to know about you, Kyle?
No. But I will say this. I am a very competitive person, so Mitch, for your shot in the dark, I actually try to make it as hard as possible.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll see what happens.
You're going to be taking a shot, bitch.
I mean, I'm alright with that. I don't have a problem.
Okay.
Just giving you fair warning.
All right, so what story did you bring for us tonight, Kyle?
Okay, so a little bit about me, actually. Growing up, I wasn't allowed to watch horror movies or listen to ghost stories, things like that. This wasn't something our family did. So I don't do ghost stories. I don't even watch horror movies. They bore me. But what I do find fascinating and scary is just regular everyday life. So I chose
Join the crowd, baby. Student loans, they're terrifying.
Oh my god. So yeah, I'm doing a true crime story that actually happened back in 2010.
Oh, that is recent, baby. That is recent.
Yeah. See, just like you, I grew up in Alabama, born and raised. But, I went to college in Tennessee, and this happened when I was in college, and I had no idea this happened. So this is a brand new info for me.
And it actually, if you're doing the one that I think you're doing, it happened at the college that one of our friends went to at the time.
Oh my god, you're right. I didn't even think about that.
At the same time.
Oh my god.
I know.
Wow.
I can't believe you never heard this story, though. I know you weren't here, but I was in Montgomery and I heard it.
No, I'm going to need you to realize that when I went to Tennessee, when I went to college, I was hardcore cut off from everyone.
He lived in a
smart.
very religious bubble because of the college that he went to, right?
True, yes.
I do want to say, so that there are no conspiracy theories about the podcast, I really don't know the story he's going to tell. I just know the
name.
I know what the story is, so everybody doesn't think that this is just a big setup.
It's not.
Anyway, we talked about it a little bit. That's my point.
I gave them no details. I've done nothing to give them any kind of future information. This is all new to them. They're just smart.
And it's been a hot minute since I've even thought about that story either, so I'm interested to learn about it. Let's hear it, Kyle.
Okay, so in 2010, one Dr. Amy Bishop killed 3 and injured 3 of her colleagues at a routine meeting at the University of Alabama Huntsville campus after being denied tenure.
What a hoe. Sorry.
So it was a crowded meeting, and she sat specifically in front of the door. And the person in charge of this department, which I don't remember her name, but I'll find it later on in my notes, I swear. She looked down and looked up, and suddenly there was gunshots.
Shit.
Right. So I found that interesting.
Sorry, squeaky cork.
Squeaky, squeaky. Squeakers McSqueakinson. Okay, so when I was doing research and I found this story, I wanted to do actual research. So I actually read police reports, stuff like this. And I can't...
Okay, hold on, baby. You're setting a bad precedent for this podcast because we are the best researched podcast. And that actually means I do very little. So you can't show me up, okay?
I mean, you just have to set the bar so high. So I'm striving towards that goal.
All right, continue.
I will say this about this police report that I did read. They had some stuff redacted, but it was like a pen in circles, so you could still clearly see
Oh, bless their
what they
heart.
redacted. It wasn't good
They
work.
are not good.
That's not redaction.
Sweetheart, you need a full-on Sharpie. Block that shit out.
Yeah, but this was like actually a long time ago, and we'll get to that.
Hmm.
So, let's learn about Miss Amy Bishop. Sorry, Dr. Amy Bishop.
Ooh, PhD.
She's a mom. She's married to James Anderson, and he depicts her as just a normal woman, a normal wife, just a little bit harried since she's a mother of 4.
Little Harry?
Harry.
Harried. That's a direct quote.
Okay. I really heard Harry.
Nope, harried.
Harried.
Anyways, she was a stage manager for kids' shows, which check mark for me. Always a big fan of that.
He's a stage manager, in case y'all were confused.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
my
not get the
degree's
wrong
in
idea.
theater, just like Leah. We're twins like that. Anyways, she helped out with makeup, costumes, and keeping track of all the male actors. So, yay her, yay Dr. Amy Bishop.
Yay.
Except for that whole shooting folks thing.
Don't
We
worry
can
about
excuse that for right now since that's not the main topic.
Okay, keep going.
Thank you. She she was also very involved with her kids and her teachers. Like, always at PTA meetings, showed up to every like conference, but was like very pushy, wanted to know every single detail. Like, the principal said she was adamant about wanting answers, but not to the point that I never ever would have ever thought about calling in security. That's a quote, people.
Answers? Oh, like to questions to teachers and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like being an active and involved parent, as
Okay.
everyone should be.
I was confused.
Anyways.
Sorry.
Well, I
You're
mean,
fine.
none of us are parents, so...
Yeah.
But there are
Who
other
you
people who
directing
are.
that to?
Okay, so my degree's in theater education, people, so I want to be a teacher. So, like, I've student taught, and I've met parents who were not involved at all. And it's so important to get involved in your children's education, people. Stepping off my soapbox.
All right, continue.
All right, so she was a teacher. She was a professor at UAA. She actually taught biology. Her students said both good and bad things about her, like most students do. Several students had posted online saying that she was an awkward teacher, that she was difficult to follow, and material on the test did not always appear in the class. No, thank you. If that ever happened to me, I would lodge a complaint immediately.
Yeah, she sounds pretty bad at her job,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I've had plenty of professors like that. It's sort of...
Were any of them tenured?
Yes.
Oh, well, I think you get tenure first, then you become that. I think that's kind of the point.
Well, I'm just saying, some of them are still there.
I mean,
Well,
but
yeah, you're
to be
tenured.
fair, like, there's ratemyprofessor.com. Like,
Yeah,
there's no
you...
excuse.
I was going to say, you talked to... I didn't have to deal with any of that beyond my freshman year because I talked to upperclassmen. I looked at Rate My Professor. I decided which classes I was going to take and which I wasn't. So, you know, you got to do your research, undergraduates.
Very true. I've skipped many a hard class because of ratemyprofessor.com.
Exactly.
I have a side story about that website. I'm not going there.
Please don't.
Anyways. But other students found her amazing. They thought she was kind. She thought she was a good motivator. They thought she was just like a great teacher. But to be fair, everyone has a favorite teacher. Blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
So, like, it got so bad at one point that students actually lodged a official complaint, like a petition, and the presented it to the biology department chair, Dr. Jopi Padilla? It's one L, I don't know.
Jopie?
Gopi. I figured Jopi sounds better than Gopi. I feel like Jopi would just be a name actual than Gopi.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Doctor, what's the last name?
Podilla, Podila.
Probably. Padilla?
No, that's
there's
usually
no
two
two
L's.
L's. Yeah. So I don't know. I didn't take Spanish either, people.
How about we call him Dr. P?
Dr. P. Okay.
Or her. We don't know.
He was also the first person killed in
Oh,
the
shit.
Oh. You know what? I don't think it matters.
No, it doesn't. I'm sorry.
But see, the
Now
thing
I feel
is,
bad.
the doctor took no action because of the complaint. They literally just dismissed it. In fact, they even voted for Amy Bishop to have tenure.
Oh.
Right? Isn't that just like a twist of the knife in the back? This story's interesting, people, I swear. But other people, when they found out that she didn't have tenure, the students who liked her actually signed a petition and submitted it, asking them to reconsider. Then the school didn't, of course. So, let's learn some else things, some things outside of academia. She was an author wannabe.
What kind of books, though?
Fiction?
But, like, fiction or, like, fiction?
No, not that kind of fiction. Nothing that I could find.
Like romance
No,
novels?
erotica, I think is more what she was going for. Which is the same thing, I guess.
Let's find some of this.
Ew. No, thank you.
I'm good.
Anyways, so, like, apparently she was part of a writers group all the way back in the 1990s. And side note, she used to live near Boston.
Fun.
So, I don't know when she moved to Alabama. There was nothing about that I could find. But at some point, she was in Boston and is now in Alabama.
Okay.
So, she was a science writer, to answer your question.
Oh, well, that's less exciting.
Right, but she's like a scientist. And she's actually done some cool, like, stuff with her science. Like, I'm not going to go into detail because I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But, like, she's one of those people that can transform, like, adult stem cells into other things.
Oh, fun. Like a neurobiologist kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she graduated from Harvard, so, like,
Cool,
she's a smart
cool.
cookie.
Well, she was a little unhinged, apparently.
She was a
Just
nutty
a-
cookie.
Well, we think she's a little bit unhinged, but let me go from there to our first shot in the dark.
Yay!
Woo! All right, remember, I'm playing for Kyle. Mitch is on his own.
Okay.
Oh.
What best-selling author is her second cousin?
Oh, shit.
A.
this
Stephen
up.
King. B. James Irving. Or C. R.L. Stein.
I don't know who James Irving is, and I don't think it's Stephen King, so I'm saying R.L. Stein.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Wrong. It was James Irving.
Well, I don't
I
know
was
who
going to
that
say,
is.
that's the one you pick because you don't know who he is.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted her to be the Goosebumps lady, because she gives me the goosebumps. The goose pimples.
Ew.
All right, well,
Don't
I'm
call it
gonna...
that.
My shot is going to be Midnight Moon Blueberry, so I'm going to go ahead and take it.
Are you going to record it?
No,
No.
we
No,
don't
on
do
this
that
one?
for these.
Okay.
No. Oh, that's rough. Whew. I didn't have a chaser, fuck.
Want some
Give me the water. Yeah. Oh.
That's 50% alcohol by volume, so
Ugh.
it's rough. I can't try it because the blueberry
It's much
thing.
better
but
than you think it would be, but
I'm already queasy.
it's rough.
Oh, no, thank you. Oh,
Good job on that question, Kyle.
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, God.
Okay. So her friend that she was in the writing group with actually spoke to her like 6 days before the shooting. And she was just talking about like how wonderful it would be if she could just quit academia and just be a full-time writer. That would be her dream world.
But was she any good as a writer?
I mean, she's published, but like scientific articles, not like her scientific fiction.
Like in a journal or
Yeah.
something, a scientific journal.
Which,
I mean, that takes a lot to do, but it doesn't really require literary prowess.
well, I'm actually like glad we
Writing
brought this up
ability.
because like I was going to talk about this later on.
Oh.
She does have like 3. It was weird. She had a paper like published every year for 3 years in like respected academic journals. Took a break, then 5 years later published another one with 5 authors: herself, her 3 children, and her husband. And it wasn't even like a respectable academic journal. It was one of those like pay to play, like you give us money, we'll publish whatever you want us to type
The
deals.
literal fuck.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So that was a
Alright.
thing.
I want to know what kind of crazy family experiment she was doing, though.
Ugh.
I don't want to know. Like, but the thing is, like, she started up her own biotech company through UAH for like what she can do with those adult stem cells. Like, she's getting money off of that. So even if she doesn't work for UAH, the way it works is she would still get money from that company. Yeah. So like, money wasn't an issue, allegedly.
But she's
Yeah.
just a little cray cray.
She wanted the respect of being a tenured professor.
Well, if you want to go cray-cray, we're about to go cray-cray.
Let's go cray-cray.
So let's talk about her everyday life.
Okay.
When she was still living near Boston, she and her husband got along poorly with their neighbors. And this is the town's name. I'm not from Boston. Do not at me. Ipswich.
Yes,
that's
you got it right.
Oh my God! Yes.
100%. You're good.
Yes, I want to crack my fan. Anyways.
Okay, sidebar. He carries this massive, ridiculous fan that says shade on one side, and it has
Like a geisha
the
fan.
loudest crack. Like, just, it's absurd. Okay, continue.
I really want to crack it right now. It's like literally 2 feet away from me. Anyways, I take it everywhere with me. They called the police department 11 times between 1999 and 2003.
That's too many.
Most of it to complain about children in the neighborhood playing.
Get off my lawn.
And like they wouldn't even be in their lawn, like it would be like in front of their house.
So they can't even lodge an actual complaint.
No
No,
laughter
at
in
that
my
point.
general vicinity.
No. One time on a Sunday night in June 2000, Bishop called 911 about kids playing basketball in front of her home. She told officers her dispute with the neighbors could soon come to blows.
What kind of blows?
I mean, I doubt they're the happy kind, so I'm going to go with punches.
Hashtag happy blows.
Oh. Y'all don't be gross.
I'm talking about
said it.
Bubbles. I don't know what he's talking about.
We all know what he's talking about.
Anyways, 3 weeks later, her husband, James, actually called the police and said that he wanted a permanent solution to the noise problem.
What does that mean?
He's gonna kill the kids?
I don't know. I don't know. But her neighbors were advised to not, confront them in any kind of way
Smart.
by the police.
All right.
And this is why. Police reports show that in 2002, she punched a woman in her head because she took the last child seat, booster seat at a restaurant.
Holy fuck. She punched her in the head?
Yep. Which brings me to my next shot in the dark.
Oh god, we're doing 2? Fuck.
Yes. I worked real hard on these.
Shit. Alright.
Okay. What restaurant was she arrested at in 2002?
Okay.
Was it A, IHOP, B, Waffle House, or C, Denny's?
I'm trying to think if any of them don't carry booster seats. Let me Google that real quick.
No.
IHOP or
Denny's or Waffle House?
Waffle House or Denny's? I think you gotta go full trash and go Waffle House.
Incorrect.
Oh, son of a fucking bitch.
Yes.
2 shots
so
of this.
good
You
at
really
four
didn't want
games.
to take shots, did you?
I did not.
Well, he wasn't going to anyway, god damn it.
I had to have a contingency plan.
Alright, well.
He is going to be
Oh, I
so
hit the
fucked
mic.
up after this.
Well, that's my
Yeah, for
last
real.
one.
Okay.
I have
Alright.
no more shot in the darks.
Good,
You're in the
because I'm
clear.
done drinking for the rest of the night. Alright. Washing it down with whiskey. Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, you can continue.
All right, so not only did she punch this woman in the head, and this is honestly the detail that made me decide this story. She did a sucker punch and yelled, and I'm going to do this in exactly what I think she sounds like.
Oh, we got voices, y'all.
We got voices. Well, we got a voice. She did all this while yelling, "I am Dr. Amy Bishop." I know that's not a Boston accent. I don't care. I just imagine her as a WWE wrestler in my head. I am Dr. Amy Bishop.
That's what.
Bitch.
Did she add bitch, or is that like
That-
a
that
you
was
thing?
me.
Okay.
That was me.
That's more community wrestling than WWE.
I don't watch wrestling.
Watch
I don't
wrestling
know.
either. But that's
exactly-
like something at Sparkman Civic Center we'd go watch.
We would not go watch that.
Not we.
I mean, I'm
Something that
down. It would be so
they-
funny to watch. Let's do it. Seriously, let's do it.
They have amateur wrestling there.
Do they really?
They do. They bring in shows a few times a year.
I think it's like once a year.
No,
It might be
I've
more than
seen it
that,
a
but-
couple times a year at the Civic Center. Yeah,
This is the local
They set
civic
up
center
a-
here in Hartselle, Alabama.
They
just
set
so
up a
y'all know.
ring and all that nonsense. It's a thing.
It's where the old people go to shine their shoes, I guess.
What?
I don't know what they do at the civic center. I just know that people at Hartselle got really angry that it got painted earlier this year.
Okay,
They did.
so one.
That is a thing.
So one, I am shooketh about that whole wrestling thing. I did not know that. Like,
That's a
what
thing.
is my city up to?
They do it in
And
the gym.
two, can we stop talking about the damn white paint bricks? I'm so over the town debate.
Yo.
It's stupid. Is it ugly? Yes. You happy people? It is ugly. Is it going to stay that way? Yes. I'm sorry, tough titties, grow up. Let's move on with our lives. We all get it. It is ugly. Done.
But can I just say that if you don't live here and you want to know what's going on, follow the What's Happening in Hartselle Facebook page. They'll let you on. It'll be great.
Oh my god, please do. It's great. It's great. Anyway, so let's get some more detail on this IHOP trip. In March of 2002, she went to an International House of Pancakes in Massachusetts with her family and asked for a booster seat. According to the Boston Globe, when she found out another mother had gotten the seat, she walked over to the woman, demanded the seat, and yelled profanities at her. And when she refused to give it to her, sucker punched right in the head while screaming, "I am Dr. Amy Bishop." The manager immediately called the police. and
Future
got her
tenured
out.
professor at the University of Alabama, Huntsville.
Making great choices, UAH. Great choices. Well, now I feel like I'm victim blaming, though. I
Yeah.
apologize, UAH.
Yeah,
Love y'all.
come on.
Anyways, so she actually was arrested. She received probation, and she was like required to go to anger management classes. But there's no record of attendance for her at these so-called anger management classes.
No shit.
So, you want to hear the worst part of this?
I thought the shooting 3 people was the worst part of this.
Oh, it gets worse.
Oh, okay, continue then.
And, well, I can't continue because she shot 6. 3 died,
Oh,
3 got
fuck.
hurt.
All
Yeah,
right.
she shot 6.
Okay.
Like, she tried to be, like, the best serial killer in Alabama, but she failed. Just like she failed at getting tenure.
That's not a serial, I don't think. I think that's a spree.
Yeah, it's a mass murder.
A mass. Yeah.
I thought they were still considered in the same category.
Serial killer is 3 or more over a time
Time.
period. Yeah, so that's like a spree killer or a mass shooting.
Well, apparently she wasn't the brightest in other things other than science. So maybe that's just what she was going for.
Well, continue.
All right. So her acts of violence do not start with sucker punching a woman and screaming, "I am a Dr. Amy Bishop."
There's more?
There's more.
Oh, continue.
I would have
on,
guessed
Frere.
that it didn't start there.
She has actually killed someone else.
What?
Her brother.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
In 1986, when she was 20 years old, she shot and killed her 18-year-old brother in her parents' kitchen. Her mother was in the room. So, it's a weird story.
Excuse me. Hold. Pause.
Okay.
Old.
UAH hired this woman after she's already shot and killed her own brother and sucker punched a lady in the Waffle House?
She
While
had the
screaming, "I am Dr.
degrees.
Amy Bishop."
She had the
You have to mention that
degrees,
every
Leah.
time.
Okay, and Harvard accepted her after she had shot and killed her brother?
She was probably already in at that point.
No, she was just 20. She went to Harvard for
her
her
graduate degrees.
Yeah. So, anyways, she had her father's shotgun and loaded it because she was worried about, and this is a quote, robbers.
Like you do.
Right. And the thing is, like, no one has only shown her to load the gun. No one has shown her to unload the gun.
What?
Yeah. Like, when she was younger, her father and her brother showed her how, but they didn't show her how to unload it, so she never learned.
It's the exact same thing, just in reverse.
No, it's not.
It's a shotgun. It's you load it and then they fall out. They're cartridges.
Great visuals for our podcast.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This is how you do it. Silence for 20 seconds. Oh! Oh! You're right, it's the same thing.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I know nothing about guns. They terrify me, so no. I would not know things.
Well, I mean,
It's not the same in reverse. It's different.
Well, I mean,
You have to pump it. If it's a pump, that is. If it's a pump
But
action.
I'm saying it is not difficult to figure out.
No.
A.
No, but it's not the same.
All right,
in
whatever.
reverse.
Continue.
So, anyways, apparently she accidentally shot the shotgun while in her room and hit her wall. And she just moved stuff to hide the damage. And this is a quote by her mother, whose name was redacted, but I can see through it. Judy. I see you, Judy. Her mother's name is Judy, guys. According to Judy, the house is very soundproof. Quote.
All
very
right.
soundproof.
Okay, and what time period is this? The 70s?
There are degrees
86.
of soundproof.
86.
1986.
All right. Okay. Fine. Soundproof house.
Right. So after she shoots the hole in her wall, hides it up, she goes downstairs to the kitchen where her brother and her mother is
With the gun?
with the gun and asks her mother, not her brother, her mother how to unload it. And her mother says, "Just be careful, don't point it at anyone." So what does the bitch do? The bitch turns and points it at her brother and accidentally shoots.
Maybe she was trying to unload it the only way she knew how.
Yeah, into
Her
her
mother
brother.
gave her one instruction.
Pulling the trigger.
Don't point it at someone. She did.
Well,
and now her brother's dead. Listen to your mother, people. Listen to Judy.
I'm sorry, but my daddy taught me you do not point a gun at something that you do not intend to kill. That's just...
Common sense?
Yeah.
Apparently, she has none. Okay, so after she blatantly disregards her mother's instructions, disobeyed, actually, she shoots her brother. She freaks out and runs away. Judy calls the police, waits for them by the door. She wasn't even trying to help her son because, quote, she already knew he wasn't going to survive. So she decided to wait by the door for the police.
What kind of cold-hearted bitch-ass mother doesn't try to help their son that their child just shot?
The one that raised Dr. Amy Bishop.
You're right, Judy. I see you. Judy.
The answer to your question is Judy.
So, the police come. They try to resuscitate the son, but he's pronounced dead at the hospital. They bring Judy in to the police station to ask what's going on. And she gives a description of Amy. And they find Amy at a car lot. This is a quote. "I want you to meet Tom Pettigrew, who is currently 45. He was actually working at the car lot."
Hey, Tom.
Hi, Tom Pettigrew.
Hey.
I'm sorry to call your age out like that. Anyways, he was actually working in the auto repair shop of the dealership. And so Tom works at the auto repair shop of this dealership. And so, Amy runs up to him. Mind you, she's 20 years old with a shotgun.
She still has the gun?
She still has the gun.
But she unloaded
took the
one
gun
into the
from the
wall
house.
and she unloaded one into the brother, so it wouldn't be loaded at this point, right?
No.
Double barrel, 2 shots?
Well, according to the police report, they did find her with the gun. One was in, and there was another live round in her pocket that could be loaded.
Okay.
Well, I mean, did we hear it was a double barrel shotgun? It could be a gun that you have 8 cartridges in at once.
Okay, well that's true. But I'm
Yeah.
thinking a normal, around
2
here,
bullets, yeah.
a 2 cartridge,
Like a-
normal, that swings
Like
open.
Elmer Fudd.
Exactly.
A side by side or a top and bottom is what
exactly.
you're thinking.
I mean, that's sort of the gun that most people
Can't
around
think of the
here
name of
keep
it.
for burglars, which
Yeah.
bit strong
Well,
for burglars, don't
Yeah.
you think?
In
But-
1840, yes.
Right. 1840. 1986, sorry.
Sorry, my grandfather
I'm
has
talking about old guns.
an interesting collection of old guns.
Oh, I know. He loves his guns.
Oh, bless his heart.
He's an old southern gentleman.
Indeed.
Loves his firearms.
He doesn't love them.
Jesus, this blueberry is a problem. Ugh.
He just likes to shoot at the blackbirds with the birdshot. Anyway.
Well, anyways, Amy got Tom Pettigrew's attention, and when he turned around, she was aiming the gun at him and told him that she got in a fight with her abusive husband, killed him, and needed a getaway car.
Oh, wow.
He didn't take her seriously because he thought the gun was a BB gun.
I'm sorry, but you can tell the difference between a BB gun and a shotgun up close.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, we don't know how bright Tom is.
Fine, but the barrel, the caliber of the barrel is very obvious if you're looking at it
I mean,
at all.
maybe he is just saying this so he seems,
Less stupid?
I guess.
All right.
I mean, this is a quote in a paper, so
Fine.
the local paper where people he knows reads it.
Continue on.
Anyways, so all he would do is just walk her around and show her cars. Like, he works in the auto repair. He can't even get access to the keys until the police showed up and arrested her.
I mean, good for you, bud. Like, stalling that bitch out. Like, I get it. Good job. Good job, Mr. Pettigrew.
So
job. I'm drunk. I'm sorry.
they arrest her, they bring her in, they get her side of the story. And from what everyone's told them, they rule it an accidental death and release her.
Even though she wanted a getaway car? You think that might be pertinent, right?
Yeah.
Well, some people experience shock and grief in other ways.
Some people experience murder in different ways as well. Thank you.
That's an
Oh,
experience
shit.
I don't want to have. Just saying.
Well, continue.
So,
Squeaky court.
this is just like a little side note. Like, killing her brother is obviously the worst thing she's done, with the best being screaming, "I am Dr. Amy Bishop."
So far.
Obviously. But,
On
little
a-
side note.
On a scale from murdering your sibling to sucker punching a woman in the head over a child seat,
And screaming, "I am Dr. Amy Bishop."
that's real important to you, isn't it?
It really is. Like, I'm honestly going to think that's going to be my new, like, huzzah.
Oh,
Whenever
God.
I
Don't
win.
scream it around Huntsville. I don't know that they'd be happy with
True, I work
do
there.
that.
That would not be a good idea.
you. Same.
Okay. Well, side note. She and her husband was also suspected of doing the pipe bombs in 1993.
Excuse you?
Yeah,
What
she
pipe bombs?
actually interned underneath the Harvard professor that was getting the pipe bombs.
Uh-huh.
So they brought her and her husband in.
Oh, fuck.
What pipe bombs?
1993.
What
People
are we-
tried to bomb Harvard.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't know about
They
this.
sent, the pipe bombs were sent in the mail to several Harvard professors, right?
I believe so, yeah.
It's been a while since I've looked at that case.
But it was one Harvard professor sending them to other Harvard professors.
No,
No,
they never caught the
They
person.
never caught the
Okay.
person.
Oh, they
so
don't
it
know.
was random pipe bombs being sent to different Harvard professors.
Okay.
Was it other people in the town too, or just Harvard professors?
I don't recall. I
It's
didn't,
been a hot
I
minute.
focused on Dr. Amy Bishop.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that was actually brought up at her trial for UAH, and her husband got on stand and testified, saying that they received a letter saying that they had been dismissed of all suspicions in regards to the pipe bombing. Well, they couldn't produce said letter.
That's something that you would put in your fireproof box and make sure that you had a copy of, right?
Yes, like if you're smart.
Well, we've already proved that she's willing to sucker punch a lady in the head.
And scream, "I am Dr. Amy Bishop."
And ask for a getaway car.
Oh, bless her heart.
Very true.
That's the one for me. But, you know.
So, a reporter decided to actually ask the police department who was investigating.
Like you should.
Right. And they said no letter was ever sent.
'Cause they's hoes.
Of course, no letter was ever sent.
Yeah. So, the day of the actual shooting, she had class before the meeting. And apparently, she was not sticking to the syllabus. She was not sticking to what they were learning or supposed to be learning according to her lesson plan. She went on tirades, like about evolution and genetics and how all the dinosaur DNA is in birds. which is true.
Yeah, that's a thing.
That's a thing.
a real thing.
Yes, but is it important to scream in a college class?
It depends on what your college class is about.
Right, if it's about dinosaur DNA,
I mean,
maybe go ahead.
Leah's right. It is dependent on what you are like teaching. Because have you guys seen that video of that one professor screaming "No pomegranates"?
Yes.
I have not.
Oh my god, girl, you have to. It's so
not.
good. It's hilarious.
I missed out on that one.
We'll
Turns
watch it
out,
Can we pause and watch it real quick?
No,
Yes.
we can watch it later.
Okay.
We have a thing to do right now.
Sorry.
We're kind of in the middle of something.
okay, well, for those who haven't seen it out there in the interweb world, it's a teacher like screaming, "No pomegranates! No, pomegranates!" And like all the students are like, "What?" And she makes them say it.
It turns out she is a WWF wrestler called No Pomegranates. And she comes out screaming her name wearing a Mexican mask.
No, that's not true at all. She's actually a behavioral professor, and she was talking about negative reinforcement and positive reinforcement. So the more you know. So the students find it weird, but like it is still technically like science. So they just like sit and take notes. And then when it came for the meeting, it happened. The first 3 people she shot died. The second, third survived. And she actually almost killed the head of the department who was trying to escape. Which, granted, she was sitting in front of the only door to this like conference room that was overcrowded. The gun got jammed. So like she scurried between her legs, grabbed her leg to throw her down. But she got free, like got her leg free, tried to shoot her. The gun jammed. So she did a mad dash and threw Dr. Amy Bishop out of the room and barricaded the door.
Fuck yeah. Who was that?
The head of the department, which I don't have her name in my notes at all, actually.
Well, that's
Sorry
cool. She
about
doesn't
that.
need the valor. It's fine.
Fuck yeah for that lady.
I think it was like Dr. Mallory or something like that. I remember her thinking her name was very similar to John Mulaney, you know, the comedian.
Yeah.
So I do think it's like Mallory or something like that.
Well, kudos to you for that.
I mean, she saved other people's lives.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. Good
Nice.
on
Really
you.
did.
Proud of you,
So some
John
people...
Mulaney.
He was so good.
I'm
So-
sorry. I feel awful for laughing about that. I'm gonna stop.
So, like, some people are trying to figure out, like, what was her motive? Like, why did she snap like this? Some people are saying, like, it's the money. She's a wife of 4. I could find nothing where her husband works.
I think
in
she's
any
a
form or
mother
fashion.
of 4. A wife of 4 would be a completely different
Oh,
story.
you're right. You're right. Mother of 4. I do not promote polygamy. I mean, but polyamory is your thing. Live your best life. I'm not going to tell you no.
You do you, babe. You do you.
I'm a fan of polyamory. I believe in you. A mother of 4.
There you go.
Thank you. I find nowhere where her husband works anywhere. So, like, it could all be on her. And her making a professor that's not tenure is like $60,000 a year. Which is not a lot, especially on a family of 6. It's not a lot.
No, that's not a lot.
So, like, that makes sense. But, like I mentioned earlier, she started her own biotech company to do what she does with adult stem cells. And she gets, like, 40% of the net of the profit of that.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, only she can do this, so, well, her company. So, like, she has the market.
Well, good for her.
Right. So, like, money's not really the issue.
Is that company still around? Do we know?
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
Is she still
Company-
receiving
Well-
the benefits of that while in prison?
I do not know. If not, I'm sure her husband probably
I was gonna
is.
say it would probably go to her next of kin. Ooh.
Yeah.
Unless there's like a board and they just voted her out and now she doesn't get shit.
That would be awful.
Or that family.
But she
Well,
did
I mean-
awful things, so.
Yeah, I mean,
That sort of my
When you
empathy
kill 3 people,
ends
you just don't
for
get any
you when
money.
you kill 3 of your colleagues for no good reason. Sorry.
that's where you
So-
draw the line.
That is
2
where
people, you can have 60% of what you make.
No, I'm on a strict don't kill your colleagues position.
Oh, well,
I'm sure my
How noble of you.
coworkers will be really thrilled to hear that.
well, that's just, we are not putting that out in the world.
Would your
No.
coworkers listen to this podcast?
Oh hell no! They are very, very old and white. Sorry, it's the truth.
I'm trying so hard not to ugly laugh right now.
I'm gonna stop drinking this moonshine.
Well, anyways, so if it wasn't the money, then it had to have been the stress. But when you don't get tenure, you still have a year to find another job. And when you're a Harvard graduate, like, you can get a job.
So was she being fired?
Yeah, when in college realms, if you do not get tenure, you have 1 year of a job left so that you can search for another position.
I didn't know that. I thought that tenure was just you always have a job, but if you don't get tenure, I mean, you're just still on staff, but you're just not tenured.
In public schools, but in
UAH
college...
is private, isn't it? Or
no, it's public, but...
just in college.
But in college, it's a different game.
Okay.
Those, like, tenure...
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know not being rewarded tenure was essentially being fired.
Pretty much.
I didn't know that.
That's why, like, a majority of the work that professors do, like... You would think would be teaching classes and grading. No, it's not. They still have to do their own individual research. That's what a lot of like tenure is decided on, like your published works, what all you've done, on top of what you do for your classes.
Yeah, they do a lot of outside work, like writing for journals and, like you were saying, getting published, doing science experiments if you're a science person and science research.
Almost none of my professors were that, so I can't speak to that.
Well...
Sorry.
I'm just talking generally. I just didn't know that tenure was essentially being fired if you didn't get it.
Yeah.
It was news to me.
Well, anyways, so like, and she was plus making the money even if she couldn't find another job from her biotech company. Like, yeah, it would have been tight, but survivable. So no one really knows why she did it.
Well, she was a crazy bitch. That's why.
True.
And I don't think, because like I said, I knew about this story. I don't think that she's given any interviews since.
No,
if
she has not.
If she has, they've been very brief and, not...
I've not seen anything else on her.
Well,
not really on the topic.
Well, the latest thing that she did, and this is what I saw that actually got me, like, attracted to the story when I Googled Alabama serial killers.
Like you do.
Like one does. She did not get the death penalty. Even though Alabama's very, like, kill 'em.
Yeah.
It's Alabama. And the reason why she got life in parole, she got several, like, consecutive life sentences.
Life without parole.
Correct, without parole, correct. Thank you. She basically pled guilty. Which, there's no way of getting out of that. But it was still a plea deal. She would plead guilty and give up all right to appeals if she would just get life sentences. So that's what it does. But like during the trial, before it does that, they wanted to see the pictures of the victims.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and she looked down. Her lawyer told her to look down. Because allegedly, she can't remember what happened. Allegedly.
They never do.
She's in a fugue state.
Uh-huh.
Shooting people in a fugue state.
Yeah. So she actually just filed a 50-page document that was part apology for what she did and part seeking relief for missing a filing deadline for one of her appeals, even though in her plea deal...
She couldn't do an appeal, right?
Exactly. But she's doing plea. She's currently in appeal right now. Stating that her court-appointed lawyer was ineffective and gave her bad advice. So she's essentially blaming her lawyer for everything.
I know that she's at Tutwiler. That's the women's prison in Alabama, Julia Tutwiler Correctional Facility. There are 15 men's correctional facilities, but there's one women's one and a women's work release.
It's really rough too, from what I've been told.
It's not terrible, but it's the only women's one in the world, in the state. Let's scale that back a little bit. It's definitely not in the world.
Let's zoom back in.
Jesus. But Tutwiler, when I was still working in the correctional system, had a lot of issues with, shall we say, sexual assault by officers, and there was just widespread corruption within the entire facility. And it was just a big stink. Y'all can look that up all you want. We're not going to talk about that. That's a
Why'd you bring that up?
2-hour-long episode because it's interesting.
Okay.
It is. It's an interesting topic.
Cool.
And that's it. That's all I got.
All right. So, anything else?
No, that's all I got.
All right. Well, that was a lot. Thank you for that, Kyle.
It's interesting, no?
It was interesting as shit, but I mean,
Yeah.
Go on.
yeah.
Ghost stories ain't got shit on real life. I am
agree.
Dr. Amy Bishop.
I just don't want to be.
Now I'm gonna be side-eyeing all of these bitches in the Waffle House because I'm gonna be terrified. I'm
No, it's
gonna
IHOP.
be
It's
fine.
IHOP,
IHOP. You don't have to worry at Waffle
Excuse
House.
me.
You're fine at Waffle House.
Well, no, because at Waffle House is where the shooting
I was like with
was.
the
Yeah,
naked guy
in
and the
Nashville.
shooting people.
But
Oh.
was that over a booster seat?
No.
I don't think so. Thank
No.
you. You're fine
I
at
can't.
Waffle
All
House.
of my breakfast restaurants are just
we
not a thing anymore.
We still have Hardee's. You're fine. Carl's Jr. for those in the Midwest.
But then you have to sit next to all the old people.
No, we don't have to sit there at all.
You can go through the drive-thru, Leah.
Yeah, that's the best part is that IHOP and Waffle House don't have drive-through, so you run risk of being punched in the head. You can get it to go at Hardee's.
Wow, that should totally be their slogan.
You won't get punched in the head at Carl's Jr. Just snort. Alright. I think it's time to sign off. Look us up on Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest, Southern Spirits Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Spirits Podcast. Send us an email, southernspiritspodcast@gmail.com. You got anything you want to send us? Postcards or packages? What's the P.O. Box, Leah?
Our P.O. Box is P.O. Box 1743, Hartselle, Alabama 35640.
That's it. Say bye to Kyle, everybody.
Bye, cheerleaders. I love you.
Stop trying to make that thing happen,
It's
Kyle.
a thing. Look, it makes so much sense, and you've not come up with anything better.
All right, bye, y'all.
Bye.